Welcome, Samantha Scherr. She is from OriginPoint Lending, and she's joining today to talk a little bit about herself and what she offers to buyers. I've worked with Samantha in the past. She is amazing. She's a wealth of knowledge, and I'm happy to have her sharing her thoughts today. So,
Thanks,
welcome, Samantha.
Angela. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm glad to have you. First thing I want to know is I knew you at a previous lending firm and you are now with OriginPoint. So tell us what makes OriginPoint's offerings and services unique or different from its competitors.
Absolutely. Great question. So we are direct lenders. We have lots of options for in-house lending and for brokering. So I get to either bank the loan or broker the loan, which basically means we have so many options available to the buyers. So that could range anywhere from a VA client who's a veteran looking for zero down, up to buyers who are self-employed, who don't show a lot of money on their tax returns and need a bank statement loan, to even an investor who may not have great tax returns to show for income, but the property itself cash flows. So we have one of those programs for investors, and really everything in between. So we're sort of a one-stop shop. I've been in the business about 16 years. I started right after college. So I have a lot of experience in lending in between my years in mortgage. During the mortgage meltdown of 2010, I left and I got my MBA, which I think really helps when I'm working with clients to explain things a little bit more clearly, to be able to analyze some more complicated tax returns than maybe I wasn't able to do prior to getting my MBA. And I just feel like I have that calm effect, that great energy to work with buyers who feel like they can trust me and lead them through the biggest purchase of their life.
And that's why I work with you. I think that you definitely exhibit those qualities, and I appreciate how you take care of my buyer clients. So, and this is sort of a bonus question that we didn't talk about before, but did you find, going to school and graduate school and getting into this industry that there were not too many women lenders?
Absolutely. I think when I look back at the past of who I've been able to help over the last, let's say, 7, 8 years, it's a lot of women, a lot of couples where the woman sort of handles the finances and things like that. And I think that they trust other women, and there's really definitely something there where we trust each other. And if it's a single mom, let's say, she's like, Sam, take it from here. I got enough on my plate, and she can feel like she could trust me to get her loan closed. So I definitely think that that is helpful for a lot of women.
Yeah, it's definitely an advantage. I agree. My next question is a little bit more towards the current market, but we're obviously still in inflationary times. We've seen some interest rates go up still into this year. And the current market is sort of a hybrid sellers and buyers market. It's not really 100% either. And obviously, this is more relevant to 2023, but with the banks recently failing, Silicon Valley and Signature. But in general, in these types of markets, which we have seen before, what are you offering, or how are you reassuring buyers who have a fear of entering the real estate market right now?
Well, I always tell buyers it's the time to buy is when you have the money, right? When you have that down payment, when you feel comfortable with the payment, the monthly payment, then it really doesn't matter what's happening in the outer world. This is a long-term investment. It's not something like a stock that you might buy today and then dump tomorrow and be done with it, right? This is a long-term investment where hopefully you're buying in a time where you're getting a great price. And in this time, right, where you're saying it's a little bit of a buyer's and a little bit of a seller's market. But in the times right now, here we are in end of first quarter of 2023, that some people are a little nervous to get into the market, and that's actually a good time to get in, because the fact that some people are nervous, if you're not nervous because you have the payment, because you have the good job, to buy a place now after any recession, home prices go up, right? Interest rates go down, home prices go up. So it's a great time to buy before, maybe there'll be something that happens in the market, I don't know, but in the long term, you're going to see much more appreciation to buy at a time right now, and others might be a little bit more nervous. So that way, if you wait, let's say you wait and you buy when everybody's confident and everybody's buying, right? Interest rates are low, home prices are good-ish, right? You have a lot more competition. So the time at which you want to buy is also a time when you want to maybe not have as much competition. And so that's why I think it could always be a good time to buy, and you'll definitely need to see what's best for you as far as payment and down payment.
Right. And you're offering some, I get your emails all the time. You're offering some creative types of programs, correct? Like different loan offerings.
Absolutely. Yeah. We really thrive in the lower down payment options where we have great products for first time home buyers with 3% or 5% down. Even buyers who are buying properties in the higher end, like a $2 million house at OriginPoint only requires 10% down, whereas at the big banks, they require 20% down all day for all of those home prices. So we definitely have lots of options.
Great, great. My last question is kind of what you had mentioned earlier about how you view your clients and your relationship. So what do you feel like is one of the more important or some of the more important attributes of a lender buyer relationship, and what do you feel is important to you?
I think that when you're buying, one of the biggest purchases of your entire life, you want to make sure that you're working with somebody that you like speaking to because you're going to speak with them all the time. And also that you can get those questions answered right as they come up. So if it's an evening, at 8 o'clock and you're speaking with your spouse about the mortgage that you're about to sign, if you have a question that you could reach out to your lender and they'll write you right back. And that's something that I do. I always want to make sure my clients feel comfortable, that they could sleep at night, that there's no concerns, right? And they're not calling into some 1-800 bank number and hoping maybe 48 hours they'll get their answer. I am here to really be the resource for life for mortgage for my buyers. So when they close, I'm still here. If they have questions about some email they got or letter in the mail, I'm always here to help them, to make sure that they feel like I've got them, I've got their back, anything related to mortgage. So I think making sure that you can work with someone that you can get a hold of at any time. Also somebody that is really transparent, right? I think that if you're speaking to someone and they say, oh yeah, we're gonna have the lowest rates out there. Well, there are people in my industry that you can't trust. And so you can't just take someone's word for it. You want to make sure that you're looking at all the documents that they present and that the documents come timely, right? There's a lot of bait and switch lenders out there where they may give you one rate and then later on say, oh, you didn't qualify for that rate, so this is your new rate, right? You had no idea. You could have chosen someone else at the beginning who's honest. So just make sure that you're working with someone. Obviously, if you, Angela, have referred them, you've worked with them before. If you're trusting a friend or a family member with a lender, I would always make sure you ask them, have you worked with this local area, right? LA is a different market from the Bay Area. Or if you're working with a lender out of state, they may not be super familiar with our market. So you just want to make sure you're asking those questions.
Yeah, no, and that's part of all the attributes you mentioned are part of the reasons why I work with you. You're accessible, you're transparent, we've been able to close on time and work through issues. And those are important things, I think, for a buyer as well, is having that relationship where you care about them as a person, not just another number buyer. So, and just picking up that phone, I'm telling you, we have that with our real estate industry too, just being there to communicate. Well, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much, Samantha. I appreciate you taking a little bit of time to share your thoughts. If anyone's interested in getting some financial or lending advice and looking to pursue a home loan, I will have Samantha's information at the end of this video so you can give her a call. So thanks again.
You're welcome. Thank you.